everybody, welcome to a new video. So it's just me again today. I am doing my now monthly, while we're in lockdown, things that I have been watching this month. So I watch quite a lot of TV and films on my own. Tom prefers to watch his YouTube and different like gaming things, but I love cinema. It is just, I love watching films. Even before I worked at the cinema, I loved watching films. It's just, I would sit down and binge a load of different films that I watched, like that are on Netflix every day. TV programs I'm a sucker for as well. I can like binge out a whole season in like a couple of days. I'm so far, what am I up to? Gilmore Girls. I'm back going through it again. I've nearly finished season 2 now, including while watching all of these things I'm going to tell you. So that's how much TV we watch. I have it on in the background all the time. Okay, I've got 6 TV programs and 6 films, but I'm going to start with the films. So let's get on with the video. Right, so then they're in no particular order, just the order I remembered them. So the first one is probably the one I was watching at the time that I started this list. But the first one is Book Club. So Book Club, it was okay. People I spoke to also just thought it was okay, or they didn't enjoy it. It's alright. It's essentially about 4 ladies who are in a book club. They're all friends. They started a book club so they could start seeing each other, like when they all like moved around and stuff, when they were kids, but now it's set when they are all older. Don't know how old they are, they never say. I think like 65, that age range, but they're all in different sort of scenarios. To me it seemed like they wanted to do a rom-com / Sex and the City thing, because essentially in their book club, in the week that it is or month that it is set, they are reading 50 Shades of Grey. So there is one lady in the group that is very much into like not being in relationships and stuff, even at her age that she is. She just doesn't want a relationship and all of this, which obviously changes by the end. But yeah, so she tries to help everyone else with their sex lives by giving them 50 Shades, which does not help, just so you know. But anyway, it was okay. Like I said, it just was tried to be Sex and the City, but for older people and more of a comedy, but it didn't really work that well. It is okay, like I didn't turn it off halfway through. I did watch it till the end and it ended nicely. Like there was a little funny bits in it, but it was alright. I wouldn't watch it again, and I wouldn't be recommending it to you. I'm just telling you that's what I've watched this month. So maybe it's a recommend to only watch if you have to. Number 2 is completely different, and it's Justice League. So Justice League is a obviously DC cartoon film. It's based on Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash, and I can't remember his name, Cyborg something? I can't remember, from Teen Titans anyway, and then Superman. But essentially Superman has died. It's set after Batman versus Superman. So Superman has died and there is this big threat on the world which they can't do on their own without Superman, which is crazy. When it gets to the bit where they bring Superman back, when it gets to the bit later on in the film, Superman is way overpowered compared to all of them. Like Superman is all of them in one. Like he only really needed them there to bounce him back to the bad guy, back to Superman. Honestly, it was mental, but it was really good. I really like Aquaman and I really liked Wonder Woman. I've never watched any Batman films, and I haven't watched Batman vs Superman or The Flash. Flash's TV show, I believe. But it was okay. All I think now is that DC is way under budgeted, because all you can think of when you think of like collab superhero films is Marvel and Avengers. Avengers has such a budget that anything is really against it is just not going to look amazing. But it was okay. The storyline was there for like the DC universe, and it was okay. Now that Marvel is a thing, it is just very overshadowed. But if you like DC, if you like Batman, all of that, and you've seen the other things, then I would say, like, you don't even have to have seen the other things, to be honest. I'd say you have to have watched Batman vs Superman, because they do reference it quite a lot. You get along without have watched it. Like, I haven't watched it, but I got along with the film. Like, I understood most of it, but I'd say you probably would prefer the film if you have seen Batman vs Superman and you do like that sort of thing. Number 3 is very similar, sort of on the same wavelength in liking this, and it's Ready Player One. So Book Club I watched on Netflix, and now Justice League and Ready Player One I both watched on Amazon Prime. I'll start telling you during each film where I watched it on now, but Ready Player One I watched on Amazon Prime, and it was okay. Like, the only problem with Ready Player One was it was quite predictable. So it is essentially the Earth and the world has kind of gone down, and everyone doesn't like being in real life, and it's just work and then home, and then work and then home. So someone out there in the world, some scientist guy, has created a VR world, essentially. So you can be in a video game, but it's not just one video game. So you put your VR headset on and you're in this like hub area, and then there is worlds and worlds of video games, and you can just be in them, and you gain money and stuff in this virtual world, and everybody lives in this virtual world. So there are people out there in the normal life, but then as soon as you come back home, you probably go into this virtual world called the Oasis. And essentially the storyline then is that the man who created it has died, but he has like left Easter eggs throughout the Oasis to gain his fortune and like own the Oasis yourself. So for 45 years people have been trying to solve these riddles and find these Easter eggs to be able to do that. And essentially we go along with this one main guy who then meets this one main girl, and it's their story of finding all the Easter eggs, essentially. It's quite good if you enjoy video games. There's a lot of references to different games and films, pop culture like The Shining and things like that. That's quite heavy within the film, because the man who created it, and the man who created the Oasis and the Easter eggs and stuff, all the clues were to do with pop culture references. So yeah, I enjoyed it in that way, where I could like play along in a way, but I always knew what was coming next. Like, I knew what was going to happen, and I knew where they were going to go and stuff like that. Obviously how they found the things was, I didn't know that because that's just the plot of the film, but I could see why it had happened and how it was going to affect the next thing. But it was okay. Like, again, I watched it to the end, and if you like that sort of thing, I probably would recommend it to you to watch, because you might find it more easygoing than we did. Well, it was very easygoing because I knew what was happening, but it might be a bit more of a like twister to you if you don't know all the references and stuff, if that makes sense. So yeah, I would say watch it if you want something to fill the time. Now going up, the next 3 are the ones I've watched most recently and I've enjoyed way more. So I'm going to start with one that I watched yesterday. So number 4 is Life of the Party, and I really like this film. When I watched it in the cinema the first time it came out, I laughed so hard. When I watched it yesterday, I didn't laugh as much because I kind of remembered it, but it was still like, it's such a nice film to watch. It's light-hearted, and essentially it's Melissa McCarthy. All of all of Melissa McCarthy's things are very similar. So if she has a persona, she kind of brings her own like personality into it. Like, she's very much a comedian, and she's so funny. Like, I love her. She is Suki in Gilmore Girls, so I love her anyway, but her, like, how she portrays herself in films, I just love. She's very much a Marmite person. Like, Rebel Wilson is very much a Marmite person, but I just love her so much. Essentially, Life of the Party is about a mum, so Melissa McCarthy, and her daughter. The mum has just broken up with her husband, so her husband leaves her for another woman, and tries to like take her house and things away from her. but the mum dropped out of college to have her daughter. So she never got her degree because they couldn't afford it, because you have to pay for it yourself in America. So she let the dad like go off to university and college and finish his degree. So the mum never finished her degree. So when she got kicked out of her house because her name wasn't on the papers and things like that, she decides she's going to go back to college and finish her degree, but she goes to the same college that her daughter does. Boom. So it's good for the mum. Melissa McCarthy is very like, she is Suki. Like, if you called her Suki, you could say that her and Jackson from Gilmore Girls had broken up, and that was her and her children going off to college, and it would be very believable. It's just so funny. Like, they make her more of like an attractive mum, and then she gets so much like she is just a teen person, but she still knows that she's a mum, and it's such that like backwards and forwards, and her and her daughter get closer, and then there's so funny bit like some relatable bits, and it's just great. It's just such a university like American college film with like adult humour put in there, like not even adult humour really, just funny bits. Like there's you just have to watch it. If you like her, then definitely watch it. I would highly recommend it to you. Number 5 is a bit more light-hearted. So number 5 is the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. So we had this at the cinema, and it was so popular. So our age range at the cinema that comes is mainly like 30 plus, all the way up to like, if you can get up our steep stairs, you will come. That age range. And they loved it. Absolutely loved it. So it's Lily James, and it's set during one of the world wars, and she goes over to Guernsey to be with this group of people who have formed a book club because they had to. So the Germans had invaded Guernsey, which is an island, and you weren't allowed to do mass gatherings unless there was a reason for it. And they got caught, so they told the Germans that they were having a book club, so then from then they had to have this book club. So they had that, and then Lily James is a London author, and she writes books, and one of the people in the book club have read her book, and she really wanted to go over to them to meet them and like know their story and things, and essentially she then just loves life over there, and it's just such a romantic, it's not even a comedy, it's just a nice little romantic film, and she falls in love with Guernsey, essentially their life, their everything. She makes friends, and she makes their lives better while also dealing with everything that she has to do back in London and deciding between her two lives. I won't say any more because it is like, there's not too much plot to it. Like, it's very, very easy watch. Like, I watched this and did some jigsaw and had some grandma time. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was nice. It wasn't too hard to understand or too easy that it wasn't worth watching, if that makes sense. Like, it had a plot and it was nice, and Lily James is just an incredible actress in my opinion. But there you go. If you like post-war things and romantic girly films, then this is for you. The last one, number 6, is a cracker. I talked about it in one of my weekly vlogs when I actually watched it, and it is Booksmart. So this film is a teen college drama. It's again set in an American high school, but it's on their like last day of high school, and it's set over 2 days. It's about 2 girls who are best friends, but they are the smartest people in school, and they are going to like top Ivy League schools, or they're like, one of them is going off on a gap year to do something in a foreign country. But it is such an amazing comedy. It is so funny. It is very much like a teen, like, have to remember going back to high school, like how you were, like college, that time of how you were and how you acted, and like drinking and parties and stuff. Because essentially the plot is that they were the smart kids and they never went to parties. So they have decided that it's their last day of being a high school student, and they need to go to a party, so they go to the last party that's being thrown the day before graduation, and then it just all unravels from there. So they both like different people, and different things happen with all of these people, and then they're trying to find this party, and then like the police get involved, and then it's a rush to get to graduation, and then by that time everyone likes them. Oh, it's so good, it's so funny, it's so much drama. Yeah, it's really good. I would say watch it, but it is very much like, you have to know that it's students, and there is many sexual references and lots of like swearing and things like this, so you have to like that sort of film. But it is so funny. Just watch it, it is great. So Life at the Party was on Amazon Prime. The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society you can get on BBC iPlayer, and Booksmart is also on Amazon Prime. Okay, going on to TV now. I've got 6 TV shows that I have been watching. Some of them shorter than others, some of them I finished, some of them I haven't, some of them are a bit of a project. But yeah, anyway, in we go. So the first one is Normal People. I'm not really too sure how I feel about this one. It's on BBC iPlayer, and it's very like critically acclaimed. Like it's like everyone says it's amazing, it's best drama. People have been really enjoying it, but I just don't know. Don't know if I'm not watching it right or something, but it's just depressing me. Like, it's essentially about 2 people in Ireland. One is a popular guy in high school, and another is just a smart girl who doesn't really get on with her family, and she doesn't have any friends in high school either. But they end up like getting together and really liking each other. But he doesn't tell his friends that he likes her, and she doesn't, because she doesn't want to embarrass him. But they like see each other in private and things like this. But then they go off to college, and then he becomes the person with no friends, and she gets loads of friends and like changes her like how she is completely. But then they still start like being together. But it seems like it's really nice that they are still like getting back together, and I don't know if it gets better because I've like not watched the last 3 episodes. But it's just so depressing. Like, I don't know, everything always seems to end up like sad in a way. Like, yes, they always end up together, but they're never really together. Like, I don't know, it just seems sad. I haven't been able to watch the last 3 episodes because I have to be in like the mood to like know that I'm gonna get sad. Like, the storyline is nice in a way that they keep going back to each other, but I don't know, it's filmed really well, and like how it is done is nice. If it's meant to make you feel, like if it's really meant to make you like have emotions for these people, then it is done its job, like, because you really do feel for these people. But I don't know, I just, maybe I need to finish it. But well, I don't know. It's on BBC iPlayer anyway, so it's free, and I can just go and watch it at any point until they take it off. But yeah, I just don't know. If you've watched it and you enjoyed it and it gets better, then please tell me. But I don't know, it just kind of made me like I wanted to cry. Okay, number 2 is also on Amazon Prime, as well as a lot of these other things. But it is my mission. I'm not going to finish it in my Prime trial period, and it is Lost. So Lost has 6 seasons. I am episode 6 of season 2, so I've done well. I have watched like 29 episodes now, and it is good. I'm really enjoying it. Most people have watched Lost, and I have never. I've never seen it on anything, or like been able to watch it, if that makes sense, without having to like physically buy it. So I've never had the opportunity to watch it, or the drive really. But since watching Gilmore Girls 8 times, I'm like, I can do it. Like, they're the same length and the same amount of episodes. So I was like, you can do this. And I am really enjoying it. I'm really connected to all of the characters. Essentially, if you've not watched Lost, it's about 44 characters, people, who have been dropped onto a desert island because their plane has crashed. So a plane has crashed on this random island, scattered into a million pieces. The island is huge, and it's about them surviving on a deserted island essentially. But then they find out like all of these different dangers are around, and they have to survive through it. But then they find different things, and like it's a mystery about this island. Like, some numbers and there's some other people and I don't know, someone has a baby, people dying. It's crazy, honestly. It's amazing because I don't know what is going to happen next. Like, sometimes you look at these things and you're like, oh, this is going to happen, and then they throw it off in a complete different direction. It is mad. It is mad, but I'm loving it. I really am. I haven't watched an episode in a couple of days because you have to, like, I have to watch it. Like, I need to take in all the information because I might need it later. But yeah, it is so good. I would, if you have the time, the dedication, or like you just fancy watching it, then I would say definitely watch it. You have to enjoy that kind of like mystery drama kind of feel about it, and they are like 45 minutes long an episode. But it is really good. I would definitely recommend it. The next one is my favourite thing on the God-given earth so far. It's not quite beat Gilmore Girls, but it is a very, very close number 2. So it is Modern Family. You can watch it on Amazon Prime or Netflix now, and it is amazing. I'm pretty sure they're gonna put it on Disney Plus soon because it is by ABC, so it is now owned by Disney. But it is so good. Phil is my humour. He honestly is my humour. It is so good. So essentially it is they're 20-minute episodes, so they're really good to just whack on, like if you have half an hour before you need to go do something or something like that. You can just watch loads and loads in a day. I've not been watching it for that long and I'm halfway through season 2 already. But it's so good. It is about a family of 5. So Claire and Phil, so they're husband and wife, and they have 3 kids. And then Claire's dad, and he's married another lady and she has a son, so it's about them 3 as well. And then Claire's brother, he has a gay life partner and they have adopted a Taiwanese child, a little girl called Lily. But it's about all 3 of their lives, but they all like see each other a lot, so it's about all of their individual lives but their lives together as well. And it's just so good. It's so funny. There is not a moment throughout this that there isn't like a bit of drama that is just hilarious. Like, not drama in the way that it's like someone's having beef with this other person, but like just random family bickers, or like the gay life partner is very like stereotypical gay in the way that he is just very flamboyant, and they've made him that way for that reason. Like, he wants to be that way. But the bit I love about it is that it's very much like a soap in the way that you watch the people with their lives, but they mix it in with a documentary. So it's like you have you are the person sitting in their house watching their lives, but then they like break the third wall because they'll like look at you and like react to something that's just happened, like to the camera, like they're looking at you, and then there'll be like a little documentary bit where they're either sat on the sofa or they're sat on the table and they're like explaining how they feel about something that's just happened. So like, for example, the last episode I've watched, they want to go to family camp, and then the daughter's in the back of the car when he's talking about family camp, and like she like sits there like, I don't want to go, and then she looks at the camera like, I don't want to go, and then it comes into her sitting on the sofa saying family camp is awful, like talking to the camera, explaining why she doesn't want to go. But yeah, does that make sense? It is so good. Like, it is just amazing. It's so funny. I would recommend it to anybody. Like, just try it. Like, it is for everyone. There is all ages within the drama, so everyone can understand and relate to somebody, but it is so funny. Just watch it. It is, I'm obsessed. So number 4 is just a very quick one. So it is Zenimation on Disney Plus. I've not been watching too much Disney Plus recently. We've been watching like random Disney films here and there, and we've been watching pop culture. But Zenimation is something that was new that we watched this month. But it's essentially 5-minute shorts of bits from films. So the first episode is about water, and they take out all of like the music and the talking and different things. And like, for example, you know when Moana is in the ocean, her ship's broken and stuff, and she then sees her grandma, and then she decides she's going to go back out there and defeat Te Fiti herself, and she fixes her boat. All of the music is taken out, and it's just the sound of the water and like Moana like sewing and then like fixing her boat, and then the sound of her like ship going off with the water, but then it like merges into like the Little Mermaid, and it's just the sound of the mermaid swimming, or just the sound of something like going by, and then it goes into like Elsa riding the water horse in Frozen 2, and it's just so relaxing. Like that's why it's called Zenimation, because it's animation but zen. That's how they came up with the name. It has like an explanation at the start of what it is and everything, but they're just 5-minute shorts, and we've been watching them before bed, and they are just so calming. It is so nice. Like just to, I think there's one that's about air, and there's one that's about different things. There was one that was cityscapes as well, and just went through all of the different like cities and like the sounds of just things going by, and they're so short that you could just watch them all in just like a half an hour, but they like chill you out so much. And it's so nice because it's Disney and you get to see all of the like Disney films that we love in such a different way. Like it almost makes you feel like you're there more. Like the music builds you up for the films and things, but having that all stripped away just makes you feel like you're on that boat with Moana. It really does. It's so strange, but it's so nice. Like first thing in the morning or just before bed, do it. 2 more. Number 5 is on Netflix, and it's Sweet Magnolias. I really enjoyed this. I actually like bashed this out in like 3 days, all 10 episodes. They're an hour long, so it's quite like dedicating. When I first watched the trailer, I thought it was a film as well, and then I clicked on it and it was like episode 1, and I was like, oh, that's so strange. Like it looks like it would be a film, but I'm so glad they made it into a TV show. It's based on a book, or a book series. I think the first 10 episodes they said was based on books 1 to 3. But oh, it was so good. I'm so glad they made it into a TV show, because the amount of detail that they've put into it, and the amount of character building and storytelling that they've put into each episode to build the, I wouldn't say storyline, but that's just using the same words too much. Each character, there's essentially, it's about 3 ladies. Tell you what it's about first. It's about 3 ladies who are best friends. It's about their individual lives, but they all have like, so one's a lawyer, one's a chef, and then one's a single mum. It's essentially about single mum more than the other 2. It's about her 3 kids and her relationship with her ex-husband and getting a new partner and things like this. But they all open a spa together in this house that of a friend that they had who's not passed away. No, I think she just wanted to sell it because like she didn't need this massive house anymore. But they bought this house from her and have made it into a spa, and it's just about their journey through that and all their individual stories and how they see each other and how their relationships grow with each other, but also with other people and their families. And you relate with every single person. Like you relate with their children in the way of how I was, if that makes sense, but also you understand why the mum is being like how she is, but you know that the kid doesn't know that the mum's going through that and all of these things. And it is just so nice. Like it's just a nice TV show, but they've left it on such a cliffhanger. It's such a cliffhanger. I'm really desperate to watch season 2. It's really good, and by the last episodes you just feel like everything is just so nice and everything's going really well, and then boom, they drop the cliffhanger. But yeah, just watch it if you like family dramas, but also like 3 ladies who are best friends. Then watch this. It is just really nice, and it's only 10 episodes so far, so it's not too much to dedicate yourself to. But yeah, I would definitely watch this again. Number 6, last one. This is on Amazon Prime, and it is Good Omens. I have wanted to watch this since I saw David Tennant on, I think it was either Graham Norton's show or The One Show or something like that, doing the talk about it, and it is so good. So it is essentially about 2 people falling from heaven. So 2 angels, or is one a demon? Yeah. I think David Tennant's a demon. No, yeah, David Tennant's a demon. I was trying to think because he has wings, but he's a fallen angel. And then one is just a normal angel. and it's about their lives. They have been living on Earth waiting for the Antichrist to be born and grown up to the time when he starts the I can't remember what it's called, when he is going to destroy the Earth, essentially. It's about them watching over him and their lives having to try and make him not be the Antichrist in the way of the angel, and then the demon trying to make it happen, but he's also friends with the angel, so he kind of also doesn't want it to happen. But there are so many like turns and twists that you just really don't know what's going to happen next. You really do have to enjoy the like world of fallen angels and witches and things like that to enjoy the TV show though, because it is basically set up along that. So there is these two angel characters, but there is also a witch, and then the children who are the friends of the child who is the Antichrist, but he doesn't know he's the Antichrist, so he's just like living a normal life to start with until he realises that he is something special. But yeah, you really do have to enjoy that world, but I really do, so I really enjoyed this. I want another season to happen, because they left it on such a like, he knows he's the Antichrist and he's not going to start the world end. I can't remember what it's called, you're shouting at the TV, I know. But yeah, you really do. But I really enjoyed it. I would definitely say watch it if you either like David Tennant or things like Doctor Who or things with witches and things like that. It's much like a teen fiction novel, so yeah, definitely watch it if you like those sort of things. Okay, that is the end of the 12 things that I've watched this month. I'm pretty sure I've watched some more things, but they are like the 12 like things I dedicated my time to this month, and I hope they help you with things to watch next month, so June. I am going to do the same thing at the end of June, of all the things that I've watched throughout June, because still in lockdown. But yeah, let me know what you guys have been watching down in the comments. Do give this a big thumbs up if you have enjoyed it and if it has helped you.